Whoa, voice reveal. Never thought I would do one of those. So, new video that I'm making right now. You're watching it. So, if you've been around for a good while, you know that I had a series that I was gonna do called the About Blank series, where I would talk about a character, and it was gonna be like an animation thing, and it just like introduced that character. Yeah, I'm not doing that anymore. Because I just couldn't find motivation to continue it, and I also thought it was dumb, and I just didn't want to continue anymore. Past me should be ashamed for ever thinking that that idea was a good idea, because it wasn't. Anyways, so I'm doing like a new version of that, and it's what I'm doing right now. Basically, I'm just gonna be drawing and talking about a character while I draw. I'm not gonna be doing post-production, like after speed paint, commentary, because I think I can multitask. It's not really working because I keep on getting distracted by the fact that I'm using my voice in a video. Anyways, so to start things off, we're going to be talking about Velvet, who is not really the main character of the story. Speaking of story, I am not going to be trying to be mysterious and hiding it anymore because I just don't feel like doing that anymore. And also, but like, frick, words are hard. So, but like, it's still gonna come out vague anyways, because the story isn't even complete. It used to be complete, but now I'm revamping it, and that makes things so much harder. Anyways. So yeah, the About Blank series isn't a thing anymore. Don't know what I'm gonna call this series. I don't know. Anyways, Velvet. I already want to restart this drawing. So Velvet is a main character in the story. In the story, there are 5 main characters, and Velvet is kinda the first POV character in the story. So I was gonna try and like go through this without talking about Jennifer, but I can't really talk about Velvet without talking about Jennifer, so we're gonna talk about Jennifer. So Velvet is sisters with Jennifer, but they're not related. They're not like blood related to each other. They're both adopted, which is why they are different species from the rest of the family. Velvet is a fox, while Jennifer is a raccoon dog, while everyone else in the family are wolves. So Velvet's very, like, optimistic and is constantly trying to cheer everyone up in the trying times in this story, while also having trouble keeping, like, her bright persona up herself, because there's just so much stuff going on in the story that's, like, not very happy-go-lucky, and it makes her sad. But, like, she's trying her best to keep everyone else happy. Frick, my script. She is a wholesome being, as you could probably tell from, her personality so far. She is very small. She is actually the smallest of all the main cast. Which says a lot because Clover, who is the second smallest, is 4'5", I think. Velvet herself is 4'3". She is very small. This does not include her ears, which are gigantic. Her ears are actually bigger than that, I think. Anyways, I'm looking at my script because I need help, like, talking in videos. she is very oblivious at times, usually to adult jokes that Lilac or Jennifer will tell. But she's not as innocent as you think. She knows that sex exists. And, like, whenever she first found out, she definitely treated it like she wasn't supposed to know that. Like, oh, geez, that's where babies come from? So, like, trying to think. So I have, like, everyone's deaths planned out in the story, because, like, in the story, everyone dies, because I'm just that kind of person. But I have all the deaths, like, planned out, except for Velvet's, and I don't know why that is. I just have such a hard time planning out her death. And I think it's because she's just, like, the, like, POV character, kind of. And the proportions are so off in this picture. Oh my god. I have assigned sexualities for all my characters because I'm that kind of person. Like, that's a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. I can't speak. So Velvet, surprisingly or not, who knows, is actually asexual. She is actually on the verge of Arrow, but she's not completely Arrow. Like, she could still be in a romantic relationship. Like, she could still want to be in a romantic relationship, but that's, like, just not a priority in her life right now. So, usually whenever I have, like, characters, I tend to treat them as if they are not my own characters, and that tends to lead to me shipping them as if they are not my own characters. Velvet, I do not have any ships for her, though, because I just don't feel like shipping her with everyone, because she feels like a child while everyone else feels more adult, and it would just feel weird to ship her with anyone. I have it listed that I should go over some design choices whenever making Velvet. So, because of her very childlike demeanor and her very bubbly personality and optimism, I tend to use very round shapes for Velvet. Also, a lot of hearts on her design. So the main four, who are Lilac, Jennifer, Velvet, and Clover. I'm talking as if you would know who these characters are. They all have a design, I can't remember words. They all share a design, thing. I don't know. They all have, like, a design theme, and I based, and, like, that theme is the flippin', like, playing card stuff, like the hearts, spades, diamonds, and all that. And I actually did look into their actual meanings, to, you know, have things, like, make more sense. And Velvet, surprise, surprise, not really, has a lot of hearts in her design, so, heart. And, you know, she's very family-oriented, and I think that's what, maybe, I can't remember. I'll need to look it up, but I don't want to look it up now. I'll just, update in a pinned comment. Speaking of pinned comments, probably, if I ever think about it, I'm probably gonna put down how Velvet dies later, once I figure it out, in a pinned comment. But yeah. Velvet's clothes. For some reason, it was very hard for me to come up with clothes for Velvet. Like, my first thought was skirt, but, she just doesn't seem like the type to wear skirts. She's cutesy, but not girly. So that, like, racked my brain for a while. But I figured out she would probably wear overalls, like overall shorts, and that stuck because I think it's adorable. But yeah, her relationships with other characters, which I will talk about these characters in other videos. So yeah, look forward to that. But, so, we already talked about Jennifer. Jennifer's her sister. Jennifer is her very gay sister. Then we got Lilac. Lilac, I'm just gonna tell some, like, very basic information about her to just, so you guys have some context. Lilac is, like, without being the main character, she's basically the character the entire story revolves around. She's, like, one of the most important characters story-wise. And whenever I get to her video, and probably performers, I will start delving into story a bit more. Because it's just so important to them. To their characters, the story. So, yeah. But Velvet and Lilac, though they are, like, complete opposites, they get along so well. And they are chaotic besties. They do so much stuff that gets them in trouble. I think they lit a firework in the house once. It caused a lot of panic. Trying to think about the others. Clover, who is Jennifer's girlfriend. Jennifer is very gay sister. But, Clover is more of a mom friend, very mom friend. Acts like a mom, is a friend, mom friend. But yeah, so, yeah, she's very mom-like to, like, almost everyone, but, like, to Velvet, specifically. Velvet and Ice, she's more of a mom friend, too. And that's just to do with, I think, yeah, they're younger than everyone else in the group, and Velvet acts younger. She's not super young, but she acts younger. Like, Velvet's at least an adult. Ice is a kid. He's like he's in his late teens. He's like close to being an adult without being close to being an adult, if that makes any sense. I doubt it does. Those are like all the characters that Velvet really has relations with. My phone is at 15%, but do I care? No. Because it still has percent left, and I still need to read script, even though I think I've gone over all the bullet points. Yeah, I should probably shut this off now. But yeah, she's very optimistic. I said that before, I know I did, but I forgot to go over a point. So she's very optimistic, but like, near the end of the story, that optimism becomes very strained, because she's trying to keep everyone else's spirits high whenever her spirits herself are falling, because everyone she loves around her is dying, and there is not really much she can do about that. And it just breaks her heart. This poor Bean, someone get her out of this story. She's only going to suffer. But yeah, I don't have much more to say, but I'm not gonna stop until I finish this drawing. I have more outfit, like, designs for Velvet. Velvet, me and my friend were having this conversation this one time, and I was asking her for help on what clothes some of my characters would wear, and she like mentioned hoodies after I had mentioned overalls, and then I just started thinking about what a cross between like hoodie and overalls would be, and it's like overalls but with one pocket in the front like a hoodie and a hood, and Velvet would definitely wear those, but it's hoodie-alls. And I need to draw Velvet wearing those at some point, because it would just be adorable. Basically, any drawing I do of Velvet is adorable, because she is adorable, and it's like impossible to make her not adorable. I am realizing that I am talking in circles here, because I really want to finish this drawing before the end of the video. But I just dug myself a hole here, and good thing is I'm getting more comfortable talking while, like, talking in videos because of this. The reason I haven't, like, used my voice in videos before is because I'm very self-conscious about, like, my voice in videos, and I'm probably never gonna rewatch this video, because it's probably gonna make me super self-conscious about my voice in this video, and I don't like that. It makes me uncomfy being self-conscious. So, now that I'm coloring her more, you can probably see the heart designs on her. Well, you can see the heart designs over here with my reference picture I got from her reference sheet, which isn't much of a reference sheet, but I'm so tired of spending so long on reference sheets whenever I redesign these characters, like every few months, so then the reference sheets are for nothing. And plus I don't need that much of a reference sheet anyways. Like, I'd probably make a better reference sheet if anyone else was drawing my characters, but no one else is drawing my characters, so it doesn't really matter. You know what, I'm gonna just, come on. Shortcut, boom. Perfect. It looks so great. So, like, I guess we're gonna talk about the history of Velvet and how she's evolved over the years in, like OC-wise. So, like, I made Velvet in, like, around 2nd grade. She was a horrible OC. Very Mary Sue. She was one of those, oh, I look all cute and innocent, but like, oh, I'm evil. Would you look at that? Was not good. I look back on it now and cringe. Like all people should. She used to be brown, which makes no sense considering her name. Like, she should be, like, red. Like a reddish. Which she is kind of now. She looks more orangey than red, but that's fine, because she still has that red tint, which makes her name make sense. Flippin'. So, then I, like, redesigned her at some point. At that point, she was not part of this story, because I didn't start making the story. I didn't start developing the story until, like, at the end of 4th grade. But whenever I did that, so she had, like, 4 different versions in the, she had 4 different designs in the prior version of the story before I started deciding that I was gonna remake it or revamp it. But yeah, for some reason I decided it was a good idea to have her go murderer, psycho, which you can actually still see that. Like, you can actually still see that in, like, my older videos. I think particularly in the... Dang it, what was that meme called? It's gonna bug me, so I'm gonna look it up. Don't mind my noises trying to fill in the silence as I look up my own videos. I'm gonna feel so stupid whenever I look this up and figure out what the name is. Just like, why couldn't I remember that? Yeah, the untrust meme. Boom. But yeah, and the untrust meme with, like, that, I think, yeah, so, like, how I mark how old the designs are, or the art is, of Velvet, is how her tail looked. Because her tail is probably the thing that's, like, changed most about her over the years. And if you look in the untrust meme, I'm pretty sure, she has a zigzaggy tail. And she had that for quite a while, I think. Until I decided, yeah, no, a round tail probably looks better and would make more sense than a zigzag tail. So that's a thing now. But yeah, she used to be, like, super edgy, like, murderer, because Lilac killed her sister. Overall, the old story was just very cringy, and I just don't like-y. So I was just like, you know what? Revamp. I'm still keeping, like, the main plot point, like, the main plot going on, which, I can tell this now because I'm not trying to be mysterious anymore. So the main plot of the entire story is this dude, performer, is trying to kill Lilac's entire family because back in the day, Lilac, got in a car accident. Lilac was drunk, because of course she was, got in a car accident with his parents, and his parents died. I think now it's not even just his parents, it's also his sister that was in the car, and they all died. But Lilac was the only survivor, and canonically, he is jealous that she has a family, because he doesn't. I mean, he kind of does, but, like, we'll get into that, like, in Claire, in, Performers episodes. But, yeah, but, like, if you ask him why he, is killing her entire family, he'll say he's taking away something she doesn't deserve. Which, wow, dude, harsh. I think Velvet is my second oldest character that's in the story. 'Cause the first oldest is Clover. I've had her, like, maybe before second grade. I can't remember. I can't think. I know that I made Clover before Velvet, but I cannot remember the specifics of when I made them. It was both in second grade, but I cannot remember who came first. Dang it, I can't speak. I do remember who came first, but I cannot remember when exactly it happened because it was in second grade and my memory sucks. And you think I'm going to remember the exact date whenever I make these characters? No. I'm just going to focus on the making of these characters and the story and how they fit in the story. So, like, a lot of my friends, I've told them that I'm killing everyone off in the story, and a lot of them, like, don't really get that. And I'm just gonna say it here, like, why I'm killing everyone off. If I leave anyone alive, I will feel obligated to make a sequel. And I don't want to make a sequel. I just want to get finished with this story. I'm still gonna make content of it after it's finished. But, like, I just want it to be done, because this story is very exhausting to work on sometimes, and I just want to get done with it. And like, because people were alive in the in the previous version of the story, because people were alive at the end, it made me feel obligated to keep on continuing it, and that just led me to like kind of just drain the series of life and start making things way too overcomplicated. Like, the Abyss, that's a thing? The Abyss still is a thing in this version of the story, but it's not called the Abyss anymore, I don't think. It is called the Darkness. Karma, who is the god, used to be like a background antagonist, because she was like the source of all the world's problems. She isn't that now. She's not like completely good, but she's not completely bad either. She's like a chaotic neutral. Or like just, she's more just neutral in general. But yeah, so yeah, there is like a afterlife in this universe. But I'm trying to like build it more, because at the time it was just such a vague concept. And would you look at that, I finished the drawing, but I still have more to say. I'm just gonna doodle until I get done saying stuff. So yeah, Karma isn't completely bad anymore. She is just not, she's not completely good, but she's not completely bad. I don't know if I'm still gonna keep it to where, the gods, like, the god is, like, constantly, like, the god is never the same, it's not always the same god all the time. Like, eventually, the old god retires, and then a mortal from the living world is chosen to be the next god. But I don't know if I want to keep it that way. Like, so, you know, the darkness exists, but, like, I just don't want to make it too, like, obvious that it exists, because I want it to be like, does it or does it not exist? Because it's a religion, and those are usually, like, very hard to tell if it exists or not. Speaking of religion, so there are multiple religions in this story, but, like, the main one is the, like, a darkness one, and I don't have a name for that religion yet. But I imagine Velvet doesn't know what to believe. Like, her parents, who, like, her mother is not a very good person. I'll talk about that later in Jennifer's video, probably, because it's, like, more important to her character. But her parents are very, like, religious and believe in the Abyss, but, like, Velvet just doesn't seem to believe it, but, like, she's not completely sure if she should or should not believe it. So she's not really a complete atheist. She's, like, on the bridge between believing in that religion and being an atheist. So, yeah, I think that's, like, all I have to say about Velvet, but I don't have a proper outro, so I'm just gonna do thing. So, yeah, see you in the next video, I guess. Bye.